From This Week in Trucking, this is Hot Right Now, and I'm Amy. There's been a lot of noise in the trucking world this week. From California facing new federal penalties to how the FMCSA's non-domiciled CDL crackdown is shaking out across state lines. And of course, we'll look into what this means for the 1 to 2 truck owner-operator as well as box truck owners. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. Your support helps us keep bringing weekly videos and interviews your way. Let's start with the big headline. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced that the federal government is withholding over $40 million in highway funds from California for failing to enforce the English language proficiency standards for CDL holders. That means now California is under pressure to prove it's screening and testing commercial drivers properly, not just issuing licenses to anyone who passes the road test. The DOT has cited safety concerns after thousands of drivers reportedly failed the ELP checks in other states. And it's not just California. Washington and New Mexico are also under review for similar issues. So expect tighter enforcement across the board. Roadside checks, new testing requirements, and delays for carriers onboarding non-English speaking drivers until they pass the assessments. Let me know in the comments what you think of this kind of enforcement for improving safety, or if you think this only slows down the system. As you might know, a few months ago, the FMCSA began auditing states that were issuing CDLs to non-US residents without proper domicile verification. Here's what's happened since. Over 9,000 CDLs have now been flagged or suspended nationwide. States like Illinois, California, and Texas have all increased document verification, meaning longer lines, slower processing, and tighter scrutiny for new applicants. Several training schools lost their certification after investigators found irregularities in how they verified student residency. And most importantly, the carriers are feeling it. Many fleets that relied on foreign-born or visa-holding drivers have seen disruptions, especially in local and regional freight. The FMCSA says that the crackdown will continue into 2026, aiming to ensure that every CDL holder has a verifiable U.S. address and legal work authorization. For owner-operators, this means more inspection stops, more document checks, and possibly higher rates if the available driver pool keeps tightening. Let us know in the comments if you're seeing more delays or document checks in weigh stations lately. When the driver pool shrinks, the spot market usually reacts fast, and we're already seeing early signs of that. For dry van, rates are climbing rapidly as capacity vanishes, particularly in regions with high enforcement like Southern California and the Midwest. For reefer, high-value perishable loads are seeing strong rate growth due to the immediate capacity crunch and seasonal harvests. For flatbed, rates are stable to rising, benefiting from the general market tightening, even though the demand for construction, industrial goods is soft. If you're running a box truck under your own authority, your rates might rise for local and regional deliveries, especially if large carriers are failing to fill that capacity. But don't get too comfortable. Some brokers are responding by tightening contracts and asking for extra driver documentation, CDL scans, domicile proof, ELP records before releasing the freight. A pro tip: keep your compliance and documentation clean, because that's now a competitive advantage in the spot market. Also, let us know if you actually have noticed brokers asking for more paperwork or maybe longer wait times before approving loads. Tell us in the comments what you're seeing out there. As we said in previous videos talking about non-domiciled CDLs, this is what carriers need to know. Audit your drivers, make sure they have a valid CDL, domicile documentation, and ELP verification if needed. Stay informed on the spot rates movement, and if capacity does tighten, adjust your minimums. But be realistic about your lanes. And lastly, keep your paperwork organized. The FMCSA is watching the states, and the states are watching you. A clean compliance file can save you from an expensive headache later. If you want more quick updates, sign up for This Week in Trucking's free newsletter. We break down the best cities to pick up loads by equipment type, plus interviews with carriers sharing their real cost per mile and profits. Click the link in the description of this video. And let me know in the comments, will tighter driver enforcement actually raise our rates or just raise your costs? Don't forget to subscribe and drive safe.